This is Energized, a podcast about simple ways you can improve your energy. I'm Dina, a naturopath, personal trainer and wellness coach with 14 years experience working with a wide range of clients to help improve their health, fitness and overall energy. Hello and welcome to this week's Energized podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. This week I'm talking all things health during lockdown. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I have recorded a podcast episode quite a few weeks ago now that was titled Staying Sane During Sydney's COVID Outbreak. That was literally at the very start of lockdown, where I guess I didn't know, well, no one really knew how long lockdown was going to last for. And now week 10 into lockdown, I thought it would be good to record another episode about keeping healthy or trying to do your best during lockdown. Just my general health disclaimer, while I'm a qualified naturopath and personal trainer, anything that I talk about in this podcast is general in nature. If you would like some individualized advice, which is what I do, jump on my website, dinasavitz.com, and you can book in for a consultation. I also offer a free 10-minute chat to see if we are a good fit. So now that's out of the way. The other day I was really feeling it and I posted on Instagram about how I was really feeling it. And I got a lot of responses from other people who were also really feeling it. Now, if you're not currently in lockdown, I'm sure you were at some point over the last 18 months. And so you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that you're feeling it, or I was really feeling it. Tuesdays are my day with both kids at home. I don't work on Tuesdays and they are both with me. And so it's quite a full-on day juggling online schooling and my 3-year-old who has lots and lots of energy. So in the afternoon, I decided to take them both to the beach just to chill out, relax, get a bit of grounding. You can learn more about that on a previous podcast episode. Just look up grounding or earthing. And it really helped all of us and completely shifted the way I was feeling. So I thought today I would talk about my top 7 things that I recommend that a person does, or that I actually really try to do to ensure that I stay healthy during lockdown. So my first thing is to get out and walk. I have talked about this in previous podcast episodes as well. This has been my savior, just walking. And if you listen to last week's episode, I talked about exercising for more energy. And right at the end, I did mention walking. Now, that doesn't mean fast walking. It can be slow walking. As long as you're walking and moving your body is a really great way to shift the way you're feeling, because you're increasing endorphins, you're releasing endorphins, you're moving things around your body. So that's increasing your circulation. And I don't know anybody who doesn't feel better after getting out and going for a walk. So that's my first way that I have been staying healthy during lockdown. And even at night, sometimes I just get out because I need a bit of space and I walk. So I highly recommend a step counter can be an awesome way to see how much you've walked during the day. So I'm aiming for between at least 10 to 15,000 steps a day at the moment. And most days I'm getting it. But yeah, a step count is a really good way, or even just your phone helps keep you accountable to that. My second tip is exactly what I did on Tuesday, which is to get out in nature. So it doesn't need to be a walk. So if you're someone who can't walk for whatever reason at the moment, then drive somewhere, drive to a local park, take your shoes and socks off and put your feet on the grass, put your feet into the sand, do something that helps to connect you back to nature, because we're in front of screens and we're in our houses so much at the moment. I believe that we're missing that essential part of reconnecting in the natural world. So doing whatever you can to get out in nature is really going to help support your nervous system and help you feel better. And honestly, after I would say about 10 minutes of having my feet sitting on the sand at the beach the other day, I felt so much better. My third tip is around reducing media intake. So that's both referring to the news, so whether that's on your phone, on the TV, on the radio, but also social media. So personally, I actually try and turn the car radio off at the moment so that I don't accidentally tune into the news. I am definitely not an 11 a.m. news junkie, which I know a lot of people are, because I just think I feel a lot better if I don't tune into that. In fact, I know I feel a lot better. I've seen a direct correlation between my mood and my news consumption. So I promise you, if there are any changes, someone will let you know. And even if you do want to watch the news, that's okay, but try to limit the time that you are tuning into that. I promise you'll feel a whole lot better. And social media is the other thing. So whether that's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it is that you enjoy being on, LinkedIn as well as a form of social media. I have been reducing the amount of times that I log on. I actually log out of both Instagram and Facebook at the moment on my phone. And I also find that I'm not necessarily tuning in as much to other people's energy. I think that during lockdown, everyone deals with lockdown differently, and everyone is coping differently, and everyone has a different circumstance. So I think it's not that I'm not going on social media at all. I like using Instagram for my business, but I am using it a lot less at the moment, because when you go on there, social media has a big influence on your thoughts and what you're thinking about. So I find that if the less that I go on, the less I'm influenced by the media. My fourth tip for staying healthy during lockdown is to escape into a TV series or a book. So I'm more of a book person than watching TV, but anything that is fiction is a really nice escape, and it's really good for your nervous system to do something like that. Now, I'm not talking about watching a TV series really late at night. Yes, it can be something that you enjoy that is hooking you in, but putting some limits around it as well. So a couple of episodes, and then making sure that you are prioritizing your sleep, which is my fifth tip. Sleep has amazing benefits on your body. In fact, you can go back to my podcast episode all about sleep and learn about ways to improve your sleep, but prioritizing it, so making sure that you are getting at least 8 hours of sleep a night, is going to be really, really good for your overall mood, for your nervous system, and will help you to cope better while you're in lockdown. My sixth tip is to do something you enjoy. So whether that is something playful, again, you can go back to a previous podcast episode that I have called Playing for More Energy. Just have a search wherever you're listening to this podcast currently, and you'll find that episode. But doing something that you enjoy, whether that is anything that I talked about before, whether it's doing some kind of craft, doing some drawing, something that you actually enjoy during the day, is going to help your mood and is going to help your overall health and energy levels during lockdown. And my final tip, number 7, is to eat well. And I mean really well. Last night, I really didn't feel like cooking dinner, but I did it anyway. I was going to order takeaway, but we had takeaway on the weekend, and I'm not big on takeaway because of the vegetable oils that they tend to use. They are pro-inflammatory, whereas I will only cook with olive oil and coconut oil at home. And so I much prefer to make my own food, but it doesn't have to be hard. I'm actually getting a fruit and veg delivery weekly, or twice a week actually this week, which is always helpful because I look in my fridge and see what's there, and it's helps me to eat well and stay on track. Now, this week's herb of the week is a herb that you possibly have in your fridge or your pantry. Actually, you can have a dried version. And its botanical name is called Allium sativum. So if you're not familiar, this is also known as garlic. The reason I thought I would introduce garlic as this week's herb of the week is to encourage you to cook a little bit more at home and to introduce you to the amazing health benefits of garlic. So I'm actually just going to run them all through right now. But as usual, you can jump over to my Instagram, dinasavitz.com. Sorry, Instagram. /Dina Savitz, and you can have a read there. But garlic is amazing for the common cold, which is really good, especially as we're going into spring at the moment. Any change of season tends to be an increase in any kind of cold and flu symptoms, regardless of whether there's a pandemic going on or not. And garlic can be really good to help with those symptoms. So symptoms of a common cold, influenza, bronchial asthma, chronic bronchitis, chronic sinusitis, hay fever as well, gastrointestinal candida. It helps to modify bowel flora. It can be used for a peptic ulcer that can be caused by Helicobacter pylori. It is also hypercholesterolemia, so it helps to reduce cholesterol levels, elevated triglycerides, hypertension, and atherosclerosis. It is also useful in the prevention of cardiovascular disease to prevent heart attacks. You can take garlic via liquid extract. You can take it via powder. You can add it to your food fresh. I highly recommend, if you're going to take it fresh or if you're going to cook with it, to crush a clove of garlic and let it sit for 10 minutes so that allicin can be activated, and that just helps to release the effective compounds that are in garlic. That's not to say that you aren't getting effects without doing that, but having it sit for at least 10 minutes will help to release more beneficial compounds, which I always think is a great tip to know, because if you can make your food, or if you can make what you're currently doing slightly healthier by just a few minutes, then why not do that? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you are managing to stay healthy during lockdown. It seems like we're going to be in this for a while, or in and out of it for a while. And if you're not currently in lockdown, all of these tips are really useful for helping you stay healthy in general. Thanks again for joining me, and have a beautiful, healthy week.